Let's talk with Shawn. Hey, Shawn, welcome to the CNC Auto Show, and what can we help you with today?
Good morning. I have a 2012 Chevy Cruz that's 240,000 miles, developed some oil leaks. What are your thoughts on some of the additives you can buy at the auto parts store to kind of do some leak stops?
Mm, I'm not real strong on additives to stop leaks unless I have tried other methods first to be sure where the leak is coming from. And have you had any tests run to find out what might be leaking?
I have over the years, several things have leaked in this car and broken, and I just kind of, it's got 240,000 miles. I don't anticipate it lasting that much longer.
Hmm.
So I don't want to put a lot of money into it, and the leaking is not so much that maybe when I get my oil change it's about a quart low, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
Um, you know, but
Yeah,
I see the
240.
products, and before I bought anything, I figure I would ask.
Okay. Yeah, 240,000 miles and you got some leakage. What a lot of those products do is they'll make the rubber products more viable, and it can make it to where it is possible some of those could seal certain things if you had something like a rear main seal leaking or something that would cost a lot of money. And I agree with you. I wouldn't recommend trying to go into the engine and doing a great large amount of stuff on there, because you wouldn't want to do that, and eventually something is bound to wear out in the engine that you'd have to replace it. So you don't want to waste that money. So yeah, I would look into that, and I was trying to think of the best item like that. Now, as a professional, I may not know as many of those, but I'm wondering if Jim Pate here with us is if he has run into anything as far as needing a product that would seal an oil leak. Jim?
I have a vehicle a lot like yours, sir, 212,000 miles on it. It doesn't leak, and I'm happy about that. But I have had cars that do, and two things come to my mind. One is you can try a high mileage oil, which I believe the whole purpose of that is it has that particular characteristic that either swells or rejuvenates seals, and that probably help you with valve cover gaskets, oil pan seals. But one other thing you could always check, and Aaron, tell me if I'm on the right or wrong track here, is if your PCV valve system is at all deficient and it's not pulling vacuum properly. With that many miles on it, the blow-by has increased, and if you develop pressure in the crankcase, that will force oil out of places that otherwise it wouldn't leave. So check and make sure that's still pulling good vacuum at the PVC valve circuit to make sure that you're not causing the leak that way.
Jim, that is excellent. That was something that I didn't, for some reason, I didn't think of PCV system when he asked that question. But yes, definitely check that. And the high mileage oil was a great suggestion too. Instead of a regular additive, use the high mileage oil, which has a certain amount of that additive in there.
And maybe even if it's a valve cover gasket or an oil pan, you can take a shot, can't you? And just with a nut driver, not a ratchet, and just see if any of those have worked their way loose. I had a trans pan that way one time, leaking terribly, and a quarter a turn all the way around that pan, and it stopped. So you could get lucky with that as well, but not if it's a main seal. You're not going to tighten that one up.
Jim, you answered some great questions, man. That is fantastic. Hey, Shawn, did that help any?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you so much. Have a good morning.
Oh, thank you, Shawn. Yeah, all of those were great suggestions there, Jim, that you mentioned as far as snugging up the bolts and doing all the other things that you talked about. Great things. I normally always mention PCV system when somebody mentions oil leak, and I didn't do it that time.